Alright, so here is just another video on tying up loose ends. As probably stated before, but I will just be speaking about stuff that during the entirety of this particular series I didn't really either get a good opportunity to fully talk about in detail a specific thing. This time around, I'm going to be talking about a little bit more about the Mani statue, something that shows up very frequently within the game. But this time I will not have any gameplay to show, so there'll be no gameplay this time, just analysis and then a conclusion at the end or whatever you want to say. Let's talk about it. Alright, so this Mani statue, it is prevalent throughout the entire game, at least it is being said that it is causing or influencing or doing something to all these people and causing them to basically do things that they normally wouldn't be doing, or they're doing things outside of their control or outside of what they normally would or whatever. It's causing some kind of negative influence on these people, and in some cases apparently giving them actual powers. Maybe it's not even so much that it's giving them powers, but it's helping them or amplifying their previously may have been restrained sort of inner kind of negative energy. Obviously these negative kind of feelings, emotions, even if we like to always say that despise them or that we want to completely get rid of them or whatever, we have to admit at the end of the day that these feelings, emotions, whatever, they do have much power in them. Just like in Star Wars or whatever, where the dark side is very powerful in many ways, is because they use these quote-unquote negative emotions for their purposes or whatever, to try and achieve their goals and such. They're the means to their end. I could say maybe that's exactly what's happening with these kind of Mani statues, is kind of these people that had these sort of things already, or these things that were sort of in them already. They just were kind of restrained before, but then now, they just it sort of brought something out of them that they didn't have before. So people even the guy at the beginning, Liar X, whatever his name is, the guy that lives near Ness's house on that hill, the one who's digging up one of these Mani statues, he was getting some kind of weird influence to actually dig it up. And then people like Everdread, eventually when he gets a hold of it, he was influenced somehow by whatever it puts out to go and steal it from this guy, Liar. And then obviously Mr. Carpainter from the Blue cult and everything like that. He was getting influenced by a statue. To Monotoli from Forside, where he's supposedly getting his evil powers from this thing, or it's giving him these powers or whatever. And then when it gets destroyed, the illusion device, it being called in that case, he supposedly loses his powers. He just becomes a frail old man. So, there's obviously this thing does these weird things, but a lot of it comes from not so much just the statue, but from the person themselves, because they have to have something within them for this to influence them, I guess you could say, and to evoke these sort of things out of them. But besides on that part of the statue itself, who knows how, who knows how Gygas got these things, supposedly, or whatever. Maybe they just existed and Gygas somehow, I don't know, started to use them as some kind of tool, altered them. And the fact that it was buried in the ground, he digs it out of the ground, a pretty deep hole. So it's these things obviously were there for a pretty long time, most likely. So, who put them there? How did they get there? Retrocausality kind of thing, who knows? Very weird origin. And the fact that they were doing these things is very strange. Almost it was pre-planned, which could give more kind of credence to the hieroglyph that Pooh translates, talking about the ancient civilization or whatever fighting these aliens, these beings, whatever. Very interesting in that regard, just their whole origin. Whatever these things are, these statues, their origin and such. Weird history or whatever of these things that you can kind of glean out of it, the story, how it's told. Just one of the things I wanted to mention about the statue itself, I think at least one of the ideas it tries to put out there is that it's the evil influence is more so coming from the person themselves within what they already had there, and it's kind of amplifying it or releasing it or something like that. that which was hidden away, their inner evil and such. And then it makes you think, like, okay, I would think that one of those things, negative things, one of the things that I find, like, we look at the man as a human or whatever, the man as one of those things that is like, this physical body is attached to this realm, kind of anchored to it. And just the statue's name, even though I don't know if it really means anything exactly, Mani Mani, it's just both of the words man, just man in it, just one of those things that I could imagine would elicit those kind of thoughts of like anchoring to this place, material possessions, the physical world, this physical body and everything, man. Then the other one that is probably even more obvious is the actual appearance or shape that this Mani Mani statue is in when you see it in the game and everything. Like, if you ask the creator or whatever, Shigesato Itoi, he would 100%, and he probably has said, that, yeah, it's based off of, it's inspired, or whatever you want to say, this design was inspired or based off of the Oscar award that we have. That award, the Oscar, like, it looks, yeah, besides the horns on the Mani Mani statue, it looks basically exactly like the Oscar award. It is a golden thing, gold being the color of, like, at least I would say, I mean, there's other meanings to it, but like gold being the color of like vanity, just one of the biggest like kind of thoughts of, I would think of like material possessions of this place and vanity and stuff like that attaching to this place would be something like gold, even though it has many other meanings. But it's meant to be an Oscar. To me, that just says like, one, it's basically saying, what did Shigesato, it's funny because the creator Shigesato Itoi, he obviously was a giant fan of the movie industry because he has so many movie references and different like pop culture references and stuff in the game and everything. He obviously loved movies, but what he's saying here, when they made this clay statue, which was what they modeled the sprites of the game, the Mani Mani statue and everything, that's what it was originally supposed to look like. It's just an Oscar, an Oscar award with horns, and it's the thing that is taking out the evil or whatever, it's amplifying the evil within these people, influencing them in some way. I mean, what is he saying there? Is that like, oh, okay, yeah, by the way, as if it wasn't obvious enough to people like us, this Oscar is a complete representation of like all the evil influence that these material possessions, this material world has on people, is this thing, this kind of representation of that they're the exact same, basically. Kind of funny to say that, like, he loves movies so much, but at the same time saying, hey, by the way, this is the same as that, this award, this thing, they both do the same thing, the evil influences within people, the materialistic, the anchoring to this kind of realm. So what does that say that the Oscar award is? As if we needed to be told this, but it is the ultimate kind of representation of something or someone who is anchored to this place, anchored to this physical world, only cares about the physical world, has no spiritual kind of stuff or whatever. Just the evil influence inside a person, a human. This is the award you get. This is the medal you get for being one of those, I don't want to say like, but something that is probably almost unwillingly stuck here, like actually potentially trapped here from the kind of actions they take or the kind of things that they do, the anchoring to this realm and everything like that, caring only about this realm and nothing else. That's kind of the point I'm just trying to get across. It's like, obviously, Mani Mani, modeled after the Oscar. What does that say? Is that this thing, Mani Mani, the influence of all these evil things these people in the game are doing, and then, oh, by the way, people get this Oscar, this Mani Mani statue in real life, quote-unquote real life. So what does that say about it? But I think I got my point across generally, hopefully. It's a very mysterious kind of thing when you look at it, this Mani Mani statue within the game and everything within its like kind of story. At the same time, it's very obvious what it is kind of saying. Like, I would say unintentionally, but at the same time, it's weird. Like, why would you model this statue? Why would you model this thing after this award or whatever? And you love movies so much, why would you model it after that? Because you're basically saying that all these people that get these stupid bullshit BS awards like the Oscars and everything, completely, fake bullshit kind of representations and everything, just a staged act, everything. Just like the people get knighted or whatever. is you're basically saying, like, they are holding the ultimate kind of influencer of the evil within people and such like that. It's like, wow, what is that saying? Very, very obvious kind of symbolism there, I guess. As if, we didn't really need to know that. We already kind of knew that. The idea of attaching to the physical realm, becoming one with the evil side, whatever you want to say, the evil side, quote unquote, the negative side or whatever of yourself kind of thing, and attaching to it, this physical world and everything like that, the most that they can. Yeah, the Manny Manny statue is a very interesting thing in the game, and that's just what I kind of looked at it, a little bit more detailed, look into what I see it and the symbolism with it and such like that. The next video in this tying up loose ends, I'm not sure what it'll be. It depends what I feel like tomorrow, probably. It might be about the Mr. Saturns, but it might be about Apple Kid. I'll pick whichever one, but as usual, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.